What's up, all you minties? This is the Uncanny Omar from Near Mint Condition, and today I've got some exciting news in the world of the DC Omnibus, Absolute Editions, Compendiums, and Deluxe Editions coming out in the fourth quarter. So we're going to be looking at some September all the way into December. These are brand new books that just popped into the DC catalog, so let's take a look together. And welcome back, everybody. Before getting started, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. We put out videos every day. And I was in the middle of doing an updated list of my trade paperbacks coming out in the fourth quarter, and I told you all that there wasn't a lot of Omnis coming out, or Absolute Editions. There's a couple Deluxe Editions. Most of it was trade paperbacks of newer things. But I always like to remain optimistic when it comes to these things. I said they could be populating these later, so it pays off to be optimistic. So in the middle of doing all this, I noticed that today that they started popping in some Omnis, and sure enough, they put in an Absolute Edition, and I'm like, all right. So I messaged my buddy Brooks, loves books, and he was already on top of it. He was already making the catalog and the links and everything, so I was like, oh, that guy's a machine, because this catalog is a nightmare to navigate through. So a big shout out to Brooks Loves Books. Now, the other thing I'm going to say, it is awesome to be excited about these things. I'm excited for a lot of these books. But sometimes things happen where books get canceled. Actually, there's a couple books in here that were previously canceled that are now back in the catalog, so anything is possible. But as of this video, New Teen Titans Omnibus Volume 6, I searched and searched in the catalog. It is gone out of the catalog. And the date on Amazon probably means that it's canceled as of this video. They could bring it back sometime. I don't know. Maybe in 2022. Maybe even through later on this year. Hope springs eternal, right? That's the way we gotta remain. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna break this down month by month. So kicking it off in some of these you've already seen or heard me talk about. Some of them you may know about. But the first book we're going to be talking about coming out September 14th is Batman, The Court of Owls Deluxe Edition. 368 pages. Now the content seems off. So again, keep that in mind too, that the content could be off, because this just shows that it collects Batman 1 through 6. And I find that hard to believe, considering this is the new 52 and it's the first 6 issues at 368 pages. That seems like a lot of pages for 6 issues only. On the same day, September 14th, we're getting a new printing of The Fourth World by Jack Kirby Omnibus. I don't have the content of this, but based on the page count of 1,536 pages, it looks to be the same content as the original printing. It's a huge omnibus. This one surprises me, but Deathstroke by Christopher Priest Omnibus. 1,368 pages. So 1,368 pages, $150. And it looks to contain the Deathstroke Rebirth. So this is the stuff that happens after New 52. Deathstroke Rebirth number 1, Titans 11, Teen Titans 8 through 29. And we'll go back to that here in a second. Deathstroke 1 through 50, Titans The Lazarus Contract Special number 1, DC Holiday Special 2017 number 1, and the Annual Rebirth number 1. If I'm looking at the content right now, we're looking at issues 8 through 29, plus 50 issues of Deathstroke. No way. There's no way that this has over 75 issues. That's a big mistake. It must mean 8 through 9 of Teen Titans as part of that crossover event. But I'm sure we'll get the proper content sometime later. This one I'm excited for. A lot of these I'm excited for, and it's hard not to keep excited. But Justice League Dark, the new 52 Omnibus. Very underrated series. You have the return of J.M. DeMatteis, but also, this is big, Peter Milligan's the big force behind this. And you have artwork by Mikel Janin, and collecting iVampire 7 and 8, Justice League Dark 0 through 40, Justice League 22 to 23, Justice League Dark Annual, the first 2 annuals, Justice League of America 6 and 7, Trinity of Sin. I'm glad they're including all that stuff. Phantom Stranger 14 through 17, Constantine 9 through 12, Trinity of Sin Pandora 6 through 9, and Justice League Dark Futures End number 1. 1,640 pages. I think that might be, and that price can't be right. If this is 1,640 pages, there's no way it's $99.99. I wouldn't get too excited about that price. I think that's going to be $150. That's a huge book, though. That might be the biggest DC book, if I'm not mistaken, because I think Blackest Night or Final Crisis is one of those. On September 28th, we have Aquaman getting a deluxe edition, but it's one of those 80 years of the King of the Seven Seas deluxe editions. So, as you can see from the content that I will be putting somewhere on the page, this collects a lot of the stuff from Aquaman, stories from Aquaman 0 through 37, JLAR Worlds at War #1, Aquaman 17, More Fun Comics 73, Aquaman. So these are different years of Aquaman, 80 years of Aquaman, and just different stories from different eras of his life. One that was removed from the catalog and is back into the catalog is Batwoman Omnibus. So back into the catalog, coming out October 12th. And this is a wonderful freaking omnibus. I'm so excited about this. J.H. Williams, top 3 favorite comic book artists of all times. I'm sorry, J.H. Williams III. And Greg Rucka is one of my favorite writers. And both of them teaming up to bring this new character to life. And, I can't wait for this. So this collects all the Detective Comics stuff that led into the New 52 era. So it's interesting because this character was kind of in between the New 52 and the pre-Flashpoint era, but none of her stuff gets retconned. I think she's one of the few characters that you can just keep reading it through as if nothing happened. But it collects Batwoman 0 through 24, annual number 1, and Detective Comics 854 to 863. Does not contain her first appearance in 52. Not New 52, 52, the weekly series that happened after Infinite Crisis. I know it all gets confusing, and I apologize. Wait, I'm not DC Comics. I'm not apologizing. It's not my fault. The Books of Magic Omnibus Volume 2, part of the Sandman Universe Classics. I'm so glad that they're wrapping up this series. So collecting Books of Magic 33 through 75, Books of Magic Annual 1, 2, and 3, Books of Fairy, the 3-issue miniseries, Winter's Edge, the Vertigo's Winter's Edge 3-issue miniseries, Hellblazer, Books of Magic, 2-issue miniseries, Molly's Story, which is Books of Fairies, 4-issue miniseries, and then Vertigo Secret Files, Hellblazer number 1. 1,480 pages, $150. That comes out on October 19th. As well as, this is unexpected, Batman The Long Halloween Deluxe Edition. A classic story that's been done in Absolute Edition, trade paperback. There's been an omnibus of this with Haunted Night and Dark Victory. And then this collects all 13 issues of the series, as well as Absolute Batman The Long Halloween. I don't know what that means. Was there like a 5-page extra in there that I don't recall? But coming out October 19th. Yes! So happy to see. Please don't cancel this one. Please don't cancel this one. Batman No Man's Land Omnibus Volume 1. Woo! 1,120 pages, $125. Let's look at the content really quick. Legends of the Dark Knight 116 through 121. Azrael, Agent of the Bat, solid 51 through 57. Batman 563 to 568. Batman Shadow of the Bat 83 to 88. So it looks like there's going to be 2 volumes based on the content that I'm looking at. Detective Comics 730 to 735. Catwoman 72 and through 74. Robin 67. Batman Chronicles 16 through 17. Nightwing 35 through 37. Batman No Man's Land, the collector's edition that just adds extra content, extra pages. The Gallery and Young Justice No Man's Land number 1. The only thing that I would add in here really is that Harley Quinn story by Paul Dini. I think it's important to add it. Honestly, I would have added it to the Road to No Man's Land because the character just kind of pops in out of nowhere without her proper introduction to the DC universe. A book that was canceled and back again, so happy this is back, coming out on November 9th, is Legends of the Dark Knight, Jose Luis Garcia-Lopez. Back into the catalog. I'm so glad that they didn't get canceled because I know a lot of you all were looking forward to this and you kept asking me about it, and then I saw that it was canceled. Now it's back in the catalog. So just a bunch of content from all over the years. You're talking Batman from early aughts, the 80s, the 70s. It's all in here as long as it was drawn by Jose Luis Garcia-Lopez. And, okay, I've got a few that I don't want canceled. So, one of my most wanted DC Omnis is finally getting the Volume 2 that it deserves. And that is Green Arrow, the Longbow Hunters Saga Omnibus Volume 2. Collecting the remaining years of Mike Grell's run on Green Arrow. Come on, Chuck Dixon's run on Green Arrow after this. I love that. So this collects Green Arrow 51 through 80. Let's see how they... I'm going to see if I was right. Annuals 4 through 6. Who's Who number 14. Figured they'd add that in there. As well as Brave and the Bold 1 through 6. Shadow, Song of the Dragon. The 4-issue miniseries. Green Arrow, The Wonder Year. I forgot about that one. So they're adding the 4-issue miniseries. So that's awesome. That's some good mapping right there. That's a big book. 1,424 pages. $150. Batman, I know a lot of you are excited about this one. Batman by Scott Snyder, including myself, of course, and Greg Capullo Omnibus Volume 2, 928 pages, $125, coming out November 14th. Collecting Batman 34 through 52, Detective Comics 27, it's his stories in Detective Comics 27, Annuals 3 through 4 of Batman, Future Sand number 1, DC Sneak Peek Batman number 1, Detective Comics 1000, and lo and behold, finally, we get confirmation that Last Night on Earth, the 3-issue miniseries, is going to be included in here. So, that's awesome. I love that. I love the fact that they are including the story that kind of serves as the endpoint, where he had year 0, or 0 year, and now he has the final story arc of Last Night on Earth. So you have, like, the beginning and then the bookend. That's pretty cool that they're collecting it all in one omnibus. Batman. Okay, I added one for me, but I'm sure a lot of you all want to hear this one. This is not an omnibus or deluxe. It's not even a compendium. It's a trade paperback. I don't care. I'm excited. Batman the Dark Knight Detective Volume 6. Hell yes. Collecting Detective Comics 622 to 633. Getting closer to that. Getting closer to Nightfall, baby. One day. One day. One that was out of the catalog, completely canceled, and back in it with a date of November 23rd, 2021, Batgirl of Burnside Omnibus. So this collects the remaining issues of Batgirl during the New 52, so this is after Gail Simone's run. Batgirl 35 through 52, Annual number 3, and Secret Origins 10, as well as the Sneak Peek Batgirl number 1. And moving on to November 30th, another one that I get asked about on a daily basis, just about Absolute Jack Kirby's Fourth World Volume 2. 808 pages, $150. Again, coming out November 30th. We'll wrap up the rest of the run. So this Absolute edition, as well as Absolute Volume 1, no sign of a reprint yet. No sign of Absolute Transmetropolitan 2 and 3 reprints yet. But, I mean, they still have a couple of weeks before the catalog is finalized. This and Volume 1 will make up that omnibus, though. The page count's the same. On December 7th, we are getting... Tom King is getting a lot of love on December 7th. We're getting Rorschach, and that is the Tom King and Jorge Fornes series. $39.99, 304 pages, and collecting that 12-issue maxi series. We're also getting from Tom King and Mitch Gerard's Strange Adventures. This comes out the same day, December 7th, 376 pages, and collects Strange Adventures 1 through 12. I've not read either one of those series, but I kind of, I'm a big fan of Tom King stuff like Mr. Miracle, or Omega Man, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to dig it. Fables. Finally, we get confirmation of this, that Fables Compendium 4 will be the final Fables volume, because we thought, well, the contents of Volume 3 were off, but they said it was going to be the last one. This will be the last one, collecting Fables 114 to 149. I'm pretty sure they're... Well, I guess they're not doing any of the crossovers, so forget it. Never mind. 960 pages, $59.99. DC Universe by Dwayne McDuffie. This is on sale on December 14th, 2021. 280 pages, and it looks like it collects issues of Dwayne McDuffie's run on different series like Action Comics, The Demon, Impulse, JLA. Does not include my favorite Justice League story, which is the Injustice League story, and I know he wrote those. Dwayne McDuffie, one of the best writers, rest in peace. Phenomenal. I mean, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have Justice League Unlimited cartoons. And I think his last work was the movie adaptation of Tower of Babel, which is called Doom. That was his last work before he passed away. Phenomenal writer. Worked on Fantastic Four. Worked on Milestone at DC. But this is some of his work. And we're also getting a DC through the 80s, the Heroes. So we've seen DC through the 80s, different hardcover editions, and this is focusing on the Heroes. And we're getting Man of Steel #1 in here, New Teen Titans #1, just to name a few. I'm sure they'll include Wonder Woman #1, maybe the first issue of Frank Miller's Year 1, I'm sure. There is another book, I can't find it right now though for some reason, but it looks like it's in 2022, and I didn't want to announce it yet, but it looks like Gen 13 is getting the deluxe edition again. So there's a Gen 13 deluxe edition coming out in 2022. But that's all I have. And when these books come out, don't forget to check out our sponsor, CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online source for collected editions up to 50% off retail price. Cheap Graphic Novels prides itself on excellent packaging, so your stuff gets to you in excellent condition, and they have amazing customer service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And for all you Minties that are watching, if you're a first-time customer, don't forget to mention that Near Mint Condition sent you their way for a promotional credit on free shipping on your next order. Now, this is only for U.S. customers. CheapGraphicNovels.com, your source for the hottest books with deep discounts, customer service, and excellent shipping that will keep you coming back for more. And that was the latest update on this catalog. Very excited to see a lot of these books that have been previously canceled back into the catalog. And let's remain hopeful and optimistic that all these books will see print. Oh my god. If No Man's Land and Green... Nope, you know what? Remaining optimistic. Optimistic Omar, no longer Uncanny. Got to remake that name plaque here. But that's it. I mean, that, as they say, is that. Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Leave those comments down below. Let me know what you're most excited about. What your top 5 are that you don't want to get canceled at all. You want them to be printed. DC, come on, please. And what other books you're surprised haven't shown up yet? The reprint of Absolute Transmetropolitan, no Man of Steel Volume 4 yet, no Batman Deluxe Edition Volume 6 by Tom King. But let me know what books you're surprised did not make the list yet. I'm hoping that New Teen Titans Omnibus Volume 6 will see some kind of print sometime. Maybe towards the end of the year, maybe in 2022. As long as it comes out, I can be patient. Again, this was the Uncanny Omar. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget, I already did all that. Man, I suck at signing off after all these years. Everybody stay healthy, stay safe. No, check out our spread shop. Yeah, it's 15% off right now. 15% off of our merchandise. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Patreon. Yep. Everybody stay healthy, stay safe. Much love.